Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Breath of Fire 3. When we last left off, we got Nina back in the party, we got Ray back in the party, and we dismantled a criminal enterprise. Today we are going to get dragged into another one of Nina's schemes, but it's probably a good idea because we need to use the Eastern Bridge, but we need a passport. But, as always, Nina has an idea. I have a cap in my inventory that probably has a feather in it. I picture the Artemis cap as like the little, like, Final Fantasy V, like, archer job, like the little hunting green hat that they wear. That's what I picture there. But basically, what Nina is saying is that when she ran away the second time, well, she ran away the first time. She didn't run away before she was kidnapped. But after we brought her back, and then she ran away, the king and them blame Ryu, and yeah. They hate him, so we need to go and get some more achievements to make them not hate us. Simple, right? Well, yeah. Luckily, I don't have my notes up here. That's not lucky, but no, luckily, she has a plan. This Nina is probably... I want to say she's the most aggressive Nina in the series, but that's actually probably still goes to Breath of Fire 1. The Nina in that game. Let's see. So, just to get... Now that we have that quick little scene off done, there's a few things that I did off-screen. I did get Time to Blow, and that was just me going to a battlefield in the region over by Sin City. So if you go across the mountain there, and then go to the area right before the Ogre Woods, you can, there's a little patch of land there that that's technically in the other region. You can get into a battlefield there. The Goo Titans have a slightly higher chance to appear there, so it's better than the mountain. First thing we want to do, though, is we got some busy work to do. I currently have Nina and Gar in my party. Not because for any particular reason. Well, the main reason is because I was fighting random battles, and I wanted to not have Ray level up, because he doesn't have a master. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to challenge the hide-and-seek gang. These are the same kids that we played hide-and-seek with way back really earlier in the game. We can't finish this side quest just yet. We can get 3 of the 4, and then the 4th one we can get when we get our passport, because she's on the other side of the checkpoint. And they give you hints as to where they're at. And I'm not going to go out of my way to get the 3 that we can get now. I'm going to go ahead and grab the one that is here in the town, just because. Simple, because he's back over here in the tomb room that we fell into way back in the way back in the childhood short pants days. And I'm not going to be running from any of these battles because the fairy village runs on battles. So I do want to kind of try to keep in my head how many battles we've had. There's a couple of things that I have a couple of short-ish term goals. I'd say more medium term. A few medium term goals for the fairy village before we then pivot into longer term stuff. So first off, we've got to get as many fairies as they'll give us. Assuming you have enough food, you get 1 fairy every 10 battles. Some of the fairies, by the way, there he is right there. Some of the fairies are useless, so what I recommend you do is when you fight the battles, to then go in and save before you go into the fairy village. And then when you go in, and if you get there are lists of the fairies on the internet and like what their stats are. Like early on, you want to get fairies with lots of early on you want to get a couple of fairies with high red stats and high light blue stats. So the red stats are is hunting ability, and it also like segues into like other things later. But if you could get 2 or 3 of the fairies with like really high hunting stats, that would be super great, because that would let you put other fairies on other things. You could maybe do what is it called? You could probably start like clearing land out and things like that if you've got a couple of those. I didn't think to do the save scumming on my initial fairies. So yeah. While I was getting time to blow, I did save scum up a couple of light blue fairies. So I currently have 8 fairies in my thing, and I have 3 of them in here leveling up my culture. There are, in my opinion, 2 breakpoints. There are 3 breakpoints for your culture: 0, 5, and 7. So the way culture works is it determines what jobs you can learn, like professions for the fairies. So what that means is at 0 you can learn the first 2. There's 9 jobs and there's 7 levels of culture. So at 0 culture you can learn the first 2 jobs, which is the inn and which is the item shop. So you could learn the item shop right away, and the item shop is one of the things you want in there. So there's, in my opinion, there's 3 reasons to do this: the item shops and the stuff they offer for sale. At 5 culture you can get the exploration job, and at 7 culture you can get the copy shop. Everything else before that is kind of like whatever. Yeah, I don't really particularly mess with any of the other stuff except for those 3 jobs. So what we have going on here is I'm going to get my culture up to 7, which won't take very long. So I've currently got 5 culture, and but you can see my stats there. So I got like a 4, so that's 4, that's 5, and the way the calculations work is it adds the stats of all the fairies up, and if it's above it's above a certain threshold, then like it reduces the amount of you know, time it takes. So I currently have 14, which is not the fastest amount of culture gaining speed, but basically that just adds one more battle that I have to fight. So for example, if I had 15 to get up to level 6, I'd have to fight 15 battles, but because I have 14, I have to fight 16 battles. So to get the maximum amount of culture going forward, I've got to fight 40 more battles. 42 more battles, because I've only got 14 over there. I should be still gaining fairies. I'm not 100% sure how, like, the food situation works. Like, the number there, I think it's roughly about 5-ish food per fairy. The maximum is 99. You have 99 food. I do know that if you have a fairy with level 5 hunt, which none of the guys I have do, so that's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 2. So, oh, hold on. I just realized that guy has more. Ah, but you don't have any hunt, so that's why. Yeah, that's why I did that. I do know that a level 5 fairy with a level 5 red can hunt for itself and 3 others without you, like, running into hunger issues. So that leads me to believe that each fairy takes roughly 5 food. So, like, if you want to know, and this is largely kind of taken a bit of thing that I've noticed is if you divide the amount of food you have there by 5, you can see how many fairies you can support. So 73, so round that down to 70. 70 divided by 5 is math is hard. Listen. I make no excuses for not instantly recognizing that was 14. But it's the weekend, and we're already at the point where my brain is frazzled. So, short-term goals for the fairies are to maximize my culture to 7, and then I will stop the... Excuse me. I will stop the... I will change this building right here from culture to jobs. And then when I get... And then I'll probably let that run until I get the expeditions. The copy shop is useful, but I don't use it as much. In my opinion, the expedition is way better. In fact, now that I've said that, we're going to go ahead and just do this. Anyway, once I get a couple of more fairies, and I get my jobs, there is like kind of an ideal like order at which to clear and build. So you clear once, you build twice, then you clear once, you build twice, and then you clear once, and then you, I think, build 3 times. I think that's how it goes. I have it written down somewhere, but and that kind of like reduces the amount of downtime you have on like fairies, you know, whatsoever. Like you just kind of like, yeah. So, all right. Other couple of things to point out. The coupons. Not the coupons. Coupons is a different thing. The flyer actually still works here in the arena, by the way. I'm fairly certain. I could be wrong there. But I poked my head in there earlier, and when I was checking something out, and the prices seemed to be, you know, correct. One of the hide and seek gang is at one of these. I think she's, yeah, there she is. So we can only get 2 of them. Okay, yeah. It doesn't matter. You can't get you can't finish this until after you get done in the plant anyway. So it's like moot to even like worry about that fact. But she's right there. So right now we're about to do. We're heading to the plant. We're gonna poke around. So none of these guys actually like really mention Momo, but she is in that building right there to our left, I do believe. But everybody talks about like how the machinery is like malfunctioning a lot. There she is, the woman working on the machine. Yeah, Momo is a bit of a, yeah. More! Freaking Tim Taylor over there. That is a very old reference. That, yeah. I'm not going to talk to every NPC here. We're just going to go straight to Momo. Because I want her back in my party. You know? Is it this one? Yeah, apparently the enhanced crops taste really bad. So, essentially what the NPCs have been saying in this area is that the machines are like on the fritz. It's basically only Momo that's keeping the place afloat. The director of the plant has vanished, and more mutants are coming up, and the prism plants already tasted bad, but now they're starting to taste even worse. Well, that's not good. But yeah, we come over here and Momo is right there. So, one of the things I haven't talked about is how surprise, like initiative works in this game. Yeah. Every character has a surprise, like, stat, and the 2 people who have the lowest surprise stats are Momo and Pico. And I think it's got to do with, like, it's a shorthand for awareness, because there's nobody in the game that's more distracted than Momo. And Pico's always asleep, so he's a sleepy little onion.